Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today is actually very special to me. I have a special guest on this channel. I know you all have seen it already on maybe the topic already, but
He's a special guest.
you're my special guest. Just don't behave. Stop. So my husband and I are going to be talking today about a very important matter that has caused divorce, breakups, and even clashes in friendships. And many people really seek knowledge about this, but sometimes they find the right knowledge, other times they still haven't found what works for them. So we're going to be talking about how it works for us and even other aspects of people that we've heard about and the pros, the cons, and all of that. So right now, I know you're already itchy. Like, what are we going to talk about? Drum rolls. So we're talking about finance or finance. Baby, finance or finance?
Anyone. I mean, we all know what it means, right?
Okay. Okay. So we're talking about finance today, and it's going to be very interesting and awesome because we're going to be using our real life examples and other things we've heard from other people. So, babe,
should we just say money, like money, like
money, because you like money. Okay, money.
so now. Say you don't like money, you don't like money.
That's why I married you now, because of your money.
My pants.
So, babe, really, what do you think about money when you hear money in relationships? Like, when you're about to get married, what was your mindset about money? Was it like, I'm going to go in there to provide for my wife fully? Was it like, this money matter, she's going to bring in money, I'm going also to enjoy my wife's money, or I want my wife to enjoy my money, or we should enjoy our money together? What was your mindset about money?
Well, one thing I understand or I believed, let me say so this right, about money, before I got married was majorly that okay, money is actually what you can do without, right? As a
Right,
family, as a person, you don't need to have a family before you have money or before you spend
right.
money. You understand? So as you are living, you are spending money. You
Hmm.
understand? So even if you are not, if you are drinking water alone, you are spending money because it's money like it's true that it's money you use to get water. If you don't use money to get water, maybe you have a pumping machine that is pumping your water, right? You are using money to buy lights to that. I mean, to this pumping
Wisdom.
machine. Yeah,
Wisdom.
but still spending money. I mean, so you cannot exist without spending money. It's not the reality of the world we have found ourselves right now.
Yeah.
So I understood that okay, you go into a marriage and or you want to get married and you're going to spend more money now because I mean you're trying to build a home, a family, and of course the bills are endless,
Right.
everything like that. So
Right.
I would say that. Oh, wait, let me get your question again clearly so that I don't divert into something else entirely.
Yeah, so it's okay. The question in simple term is, what's your mindset? Is it my money is my money, then your money is our money, or my money is our money, your money is our money? Like, what was your mindset before marriage?
Okay, well, before marriage, right, I believe that my money and your money is our money.
Okay. So you already had it in mind to devote my money before you married me, right?
If you don't want your money to be divorced, why are you getting married?
Wait. So I just found a punchline. If you don't want your money to be devoured, then you would rather be divorced. Does that go?
Anyway, try,
Try.
try.
Okay. Anyways, for me, I had a similar mindset. I had never thought about it like my own money is my own money, then your own money is our money. I've always seen it as, I mean, I don't want to be that woman who is more like a liability to my husband. I want to be that woman that contributes money. We don't have to do it 50-50, right? Because I mean, I enjoy spending your money, but I have to like, my money is your money. Your money is my money. Our
Hmm.
money.
That's cool.
Now, so why you can't reach your tongue? You can't say that so.
And now I'm just confirming what you are saying, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously why we got married in the first place, you know, because I mean, there are people who don't believe that, and you know, when you don't iron out all these things before marriage, it's always a difficult thing to do when you're
Right.
already married, right? Because money issue is big issue, right? We have people today saying something like, "Oh, them being in a relationship alone, they are the asset of the relationship. So if you are spending
What
on
you
them,
bring
you are
to the table? I am the table.
spending on
They
them,
play
you are
advance.
spending on an asset. I mean, what? So who am I if your assets?
Why you an liability?
I am what?
You
I
are
am what?
liability.
So you see,
Right, right.
it's
But
just
then,
the way it is. Yeah.
yeah, but then let's talk about the pros and cons of my money is my money, your money is our money, and all. Now, let me just say this. I believe that many people have this mindset of in the Bible and even like in the olden days, talk about when our forefathers, even our grandparents, sometimes up until our parents, the fathers are like more of the ones that always do all the provision, while the mom is making food, being in the kitchen all day and all of that. And so this mindset has like crept or already crept, this mindset crept in, is it crept or crept?
I
It
think
crept in,
you're correct. Yeah.
yeah, it crept in some people's minds that so the same way now that I'm also in 21st century, my husband's money is our money. Then any money I'm making, I'm just using to support myself as a baby girl life. So what do you think are the pros and cons of both sides? Do you think there's an advantage to when the man is the sole provider and the woman is enjoying his money and any money she makes for herself? And do you think there's an advantage to when the resources are pooled together? What's your thought about that?
Okay. Well, in my own understanding, right? Or what I understand is that, I mean, you getting married, you have to like be as a man, of course, right? You have to like be like the provider in that sense. Now, provider is just it can be a compound word, right? But
Right,
now we're talking about the context of money, right? Seriously, the truth of the matter is that we have roles, right? Every organization, if a family is an organization, right?
right,
Anywhere you have two or more people coming together to achieve a goal is an organization, right? Family is an organization. In every organization, there is usually roles. There are usually roles, right? Responsibilities. You won't find any organization and people do not have roles, even if it's just normal student union. They have roles as an organization. In church, you have roles of people. In school, in everywhere, in the hospital, right? Any organization you find human existence, you have roles of people. So why should it now be that in the family there are no rules? Just leave it as it comes. Just act, just behave, as just flow with the wind. No, right? So there is always a misconception, miscommunication around that area. And so believe that even as a family, right, you're supposed to have roles. What's the role of the husband? What's the role of the wife and all and things like that? And I strongly believe that one of the roles of the husband is actually to be a provider.
spot
Really.
on,
Yeah,
spot
that's serious.
on,
All right,
spot
to be a provider, right? And so when it comes to money, money is not left out, right? So if you're providing for your family, right, as the head, you are providing the resources your family will need to to exist or to live life. Yeah,
right,
not to exist, right? To live life. Now, that's your role, yeah, but we understand that the reality of the 21st century or the reality of life would demand that resources are pulled together. Does it still remove the role or the responsibility or the consciousness of the responsibility? Do you get? But you have reality of life that almost things, there are bills everywhere, you know, and things are getting increased. The cost of living is high, and you now have to pull resources together to meet up with the necessary, things you need to live life with. Yeah.
Mm.
So you know tweaks the old equation. Yeah. In the olden days when we have our grandparents and all, like the dad, I mean, we go to the farm to farm for food. The mother will be at home, taking care of the kids. So it was clearer then that okay, your own role as the father is just to go to the farm, right, to bring in
Go
food
and
or
hunt
crops,
animals.
and then the crops can be used as trade by barter, right, to
Mhm.
exchange for other stuff. Yeah, while
Yeah,
the mom is at home and all. But in this age now, even women are, the age of feminism, right? And feminism, there's nothing wrong with feminism. Feminism is just that man and human have equal rights.
yeah.
Yeah. So woman also has the right to work and to to
To
to
earn
um
our own dollars.
to support in the home, right? So of course the role of the woman can, to me, right, or what I
Mhm.
understand, and even biblically, right, where some people might argue it, but what I understand and what I believe is that even the woman, right, can also be a support, not just emotionally, right, financially, is not excluded, but it still doesn't erase, or override the consciousness that the woman is a support system, not like the main provider. You get
Mhm.
so how about a case where the woman is earning more than the man in the home? There are cases like that, of course. Nothing wrong with that, right? But it still does not remove the consciousness that I am supporting my husband, right, to provide for the home, even though I am earning more. Do you get? It's just like you have a team and you have a team lead. You have a
Mhm.
team lead. It doesn't mean that your team lead is more wiser than you, is wiser than you, or has all knowledge than you. You may have more knowledge, more wisdom
Even
than
more
your team
contribution to the
lead,
team.
and you get to still submit to your team lead. You get to still help your team lead achieve the goal of the entire team. Do
Right.
you get? It doesn't mean that because as a team member, you have more knowledge about something, more wisdom about something, then you now automatically erodes the responsibility of your team lead as the leader. Do you
Yeah, and they're
understand?
fighting
It
for the
doesn't
role of
automatically
lead.
erase it. It just means that you can use your resource, your mental resource, your experience, your knowledge and wisdom to also help the team achieve the goal. It
Right.
doesn't remove the responsibility of the team lead or the team member. You get? So that's
Right.
my ideology about this money issue thing and all. All right. So the fact that you actually can earn more than your husband, or your money is my money. I mean, don't let me go to that. The fact that you can work and earn, it doesn't mean that you are the provider, right? You
Right.
can as well just support your husband, still being the provider of the home, with that consciousness and with that, ideology. Yeah, yeah, he's still the provider. You get?
Thank
I'm just
you.
earning more than him. Some
Yeah,
people might argue this, but that's the way I see it, really.
you don't give a coin about what they say, right? Now the thing is, thank you so much, babe. Thank you for that solid foundation, because every other thing we are going to be talking about in this video is going to rest on the foundation you just properly laid. And I think one of the things that people kind of like misunderstand is, like you explained, the team role, the team leader role, and all of that. The fact that you are doing something to help somebody does not necessitate the fact that you have to overthrow them in their position. So
Yeah,
the fight for the head thing or headship thing is not really the main thing you're supposed to be fighting for. You're supposed to be fighting for how you're going to help your husband also assume his role properly as the sole provider.
yeah,
And I think another thing is the balance is many men too now become very comfortable when their women are doing
yeah,
all the work,
yeah.
right,
True,
and footing
true.
all the bills, and they're like, she's helping me. And they're not really conscious about the fact that they also have to now step up to assume that role of being the sole provider, of being the provider rather, or the major provider. So
Yeah,
the
it's not the
balance has
same.
to be clear.
Yeah, of course, the balance has to be there. Is it the same thing? It's an ideology issue. It's an understanding issue, right?
Mhm.
So not just the women, even the men, right? So um, some men also have.
And I
bad
think, babe,
angle
sorry to
about
cut you.
okay.
Sorry to cut you, babe. There's something I just want to mention real quick. I think one of the things also that would help in marriage for financial issues is both parties has to be secured or have to be secure. For
Secure in what?
example, both parties have to be secure, financially secure, like secure within
Okay.
themselves. For example, you remember one time I was giving you this vibe of I want you to always earn more than me, like so that I'm going to like enjoy your money. And I remember what you said to me, like, why must we fight that one person has to be richer? Like, why can't we both be rich?
Have
You remember?
you?
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Yes. And you're like, we don't have to fight that. I was like, babe, I want you to be richer than me so that you're going to spoil me. And you're like, we don't have to be fight that one person has to be richer. Like, two of us can be rich. Now, one person being richer does not still mean the second person is not rich too. And that really stuck with me. Like, okay, if I have $10 million and you have $9 million, you are rich. Now, in
I mean
English
now,
language,
so the richer the ER at the end of the rich, it doesn't change anything.
exactly. What matters is that your $9 million is enough to provide for the family as the provider. And I'm also bringing in my own money to help and to support. But really, at the end of the day, it's not really about who is richer or whatever. And that really stuck with me. And it made me realize that if a man is not secure, also, that because that also causes issues in families when the woman is earning more, for example, and the man is feeling like, because she's earning more, I must be able to also now usurp more authority over her. She's going to disrespect me and all. Right? It's a balance because the man has to be financially secure in himself and even
Yeah,
emotionally secure. And the woman also has to put her brains in check that because I'm earning more than him does not mean I'm the head. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
True.
it's a balance check. So I think that was just a diversion, but I had to like say
Yeah,
it.
that's what I wanted to talk. When I mentioned that, this whole thing is more like a what's the word now? It's
Ideology thing.
it's an ideology thing. Yeah, it's an understanding thing, right? If we're able to understand that, um this is the way things are supposed to be. It will
Mhm.
guide us in the decisions we make or how we even see the whole perspective in general. All right, but it's more like a root cause, right? There's something they call in analysis. They say root cause problem. What is the root cause of the problem? And you have several theories around that and all. But
Mhm.
when you are trying to get why of something, you can I mean, you can dig deeper into why something is something.
It's
So why
happening.
is this
Yes.
guy thinking like this? Why is this
Mhm.
lady thinking like this? And you realize that it's a foundational understanding problem or belief problem. And
Mhm.
your belief actually controls your life, right? Whatever you believe is what will
Determine
control
the
your.
outcomes of
So
your life.
if someone can successfully change your belief about something, they can change the outcome of your life.
Mm.
You get so it's
Yeah.
just as simple as that, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. Mwah. So then I want to talk about something. Don't be distracted. It's just small kiss.
Okay, now you they distract me.
So
Eh?
it's just small kiss I view. Just stay like stay. Come on. So now there's something I want to talk about, which is borrowing each other money in the marriage.
Hmm.
My gender. I've heard a lot of stories about my gender where they will say, for
Who is guilty?
example, what did you say?
Who is guilty here?
Wait, babe. Let me talk first. Now, don't throw the he that is guiltless. Let him throw the first stone. You're not guiltless.
Not
Yes,
sure.
you are.
I'm not
So,
sure. Let's go
so,
ahead. Okay.
I've heard things about my gender that maybe the husband is going to borrow the wife 1 million naira, and no, no, the wife is going to borrow the husband 1 million naira, for example, and then the wife's birthday is next month. The husband is also supposed to refund the 1 million naira next month. So the husband pays the wife 2 million naira as a birthday gift, right? And then
Hmm.
after the birthday, the wife is still saying, "You're owing me 1 million naira." Like, I've heard stories about that. And to be honest, I think one of the things that what I was saying, he who has no girl in him or no whatever, let him cast the first stone. I meant it
Mhm.
really because Before I used to be like, why would a woman do that? Your man has given you 2 million naira. Like, why? Until something happened recently, baby. Remember, I think it was 3 days ago or 2 days ago that something happened between us. That there's something you always give me. There's something you always give me monthly, like money that you give me monthly. And then I was telling, let me say the story for people to people. My husband gives
Don't
me,
worry now. Just go on. We understand.
I will say it. My husband gives me an amount of money monthly, right? And then I was not telling him that I owe a debt on something, like I think one of my credit cards that I have to like pay off. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to support you with that. And I was like, oh, nice, thank you. And I was like, and I'll still expect what you give me monthly. And I was like, oh, I was just joking. I'm not supporting you with the debt. I'll just give you what I give you monthly.
I guess recalibrate, bro.
I was like, I was not telling him, I was like, babe, wait. I can't believe what I used to talk against is what I'm just doing. Like, you want to support me with debt, and I'm still expecting you to also still like give me more money. Like, and it was like your gender. And I was like, my gender, really.
So
So I'm saying this because I don't want to like cast stones on anybody, but really, women, and it might go to men also. I think because we're also different individually. If your partner loans you money and they give you a gift or they give you something else that you know that is worth more than that money, kindly ask them. For me, I prefer don't just assume. Ask them, is the loan inside this thing? If they now say, oh no, then you can now say you are still owing me. But if they say, I don't have more money, this just assume that they have paid your loan. They have done to you one. True. Don't put yourself under one pressure that you now become a bad
yeah,
person.
yeah. I think one of the important things in a relationship and all right. I mean, I'm not a relationship coach, but I mean, I'm
Your
just I'm
relationship
just
coach.
giving my I'm just giving my opinion and how I mean the way I see it. Right, is
Right.
that communication is actually key. Communication is actually broad. It's broad and it affects everything in our lives. The way we
Mhm.
communicate, not just even relationship, even your workplace, the way you
Mhm.
communicate, with your boss, with your team member, or your subordinate, or the way you communicate in your church, etc. Is actually important, right? And it's important
Coach,
that we
coach
strive.
us,
Huh?
coach us, sir.
I didn't get you.
Be our coach. Coach us away. Preach.
I beg you. So, and it's important that we actually strive to um always strive to get clarity, you know, with our dealings with people. Yeah. So communicating about finance is
Right.
imperative, because finance is actually a big deal. We don't have to shy away from that. Yeah,
True.
we spend a big chunk part of our lives, all right, working for finance, trying to get finance. You wake up in the morning, 8 a.m., you go to your work, and you come back by 4 p.m. in the evening or 5 p.m. Even if you were in somewhere like Lagos, you might get home by maybe 8 p.m. and then you have some few rest or a little rest rather, go
Mm-hmm.
to bed and wake up the next morning by another six, and like that the cycle continues. So really, why are we all doing this? We are doing it because we need finance, we need money, right? So you do
Mm-hmm.
this every day, and at the end of the day, what comes out of it, you actually want to guide it judiciously, right?
Right.
So you want to ensure that communications around why you are living your life this way, while you are waking up in the morning, you know, doing stuff, you know, getting more certifications to ensure that you make more money and all. You want to ensure that communications around it is clear enough. It's clear enough with your party because you don't want to put yourself in a position where
Mm.
uh, you expect A, whereas you're saying B because you were unable to communicate effectively. So
Properly.
someone is loaning you money, maybe your partner is loaning you money about something, and you feel like, I mean, you have to ask, bro, okay, or maybe your partner loans you money and then gives you a gift. You have to
Okay.
ask, this cash God gifted me, is it the money or is just
Or
uh,
just by the side money.
you know, we have to ask that question.
So thank you so much for the communication thing, babe, because that's spot on. I mean, communication in that, and that all leads me to communication in finance. Now, I've had cases where as husband and wife, somebody gifts the husband maybe like money, and maybe, for example, someone gifts the husband 500,000 naira, and he thinks, I don't need to tell my wife as long as I provide the bills in the home. The same way, someone gifts the wife 200K, and she's like, I don't need to tell him, right? Because it's me they gifted, not us. And for me, I think um communication is important, like we said earlier, and you should be transparent in marriage. Or what do you think, babe? Do you think if someone gifts you money, just keep it to yourself because it's you they gifted and not me? And when they give me money, I gift it to myself. What do you think?
Okay, I mean, this is actually a dicey, question,
Yeah,
and
very dicey. I intentionally put it in the
and yeah. It's cool, right? It's an important question to ask because I know I won't say I'm oblivious of families where the husband and wife don't exactly know so much about their finances, right? What the husband is just concerned about is, okay, I'm dropping money for food. The wife is just concerned about, okay, if you're not dropping money for food, there's no food in the home, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So here it is, right? Um Someone gifts you something. I believe strongly that if you're in a relationship, right, the closest person to you on earth physically is still your partner,
Yeah,
right?
baby, I'm your closest person, right?
Married. When you're married, yeah. So, and even things around maybe besties and all those stuff, maybe that's another conversation for another day.
Merci.
So uh you want to like ensure that you are explaining enough to your partner, your someone gives you money. But here's the thing, yeah. I mean, someone gives me, I'm just giving you an example, maybe 2K, right? Okay, we know our levels, right? We know
Yeah,
our levels in like we know our financial levels. Every partner knows their financial level, right?
right,
2K to me might not mean so much, but to some others it might mean so much, right? More
yeah,
like to me now, 5 million will mean so much, 1 million will mean so much, right? Some people it might not mean so much.
right.
I'm being realistic here, right? I don't just want to talk, because I am in so level financially. So I'm not talking with that radar or with that lens. No, right?
Yeah.
1 million means so much to me. 2K might not mean so much to me. If someone gives me 2K, I mean, I don't feel there's a need for me to tell my partner that someone gives
I
me
don't I
2K.
don't even want to hear it. Tell me about 500K or 1 million. I don't want
You're
to hear
not serious.
it. Really?
so,
Oh.
so, but someone gives me.
Except there's a string
Wait,
attached to the two.
no. Wait, what string?
Maybe somebody that gave you the money, there's something, you know what I'm saying?
What's the something? Okay,
Maybe it's your crush. I gave
now
you
so not be only crush, now bulldozer. Okay, okay, right. Someone gives me, say, maybe even 200K. 200K is still something, right? I
yeah,
won't say 200K still means nothing to me. I'm not saying any money means nothing to me. I'm just saying that we know our levels,
yeah.
like financially, right, in marriage. So we can say, okay, if someone gives you money that is not is not minor,
Mm-hmm.
let's be sincere with ourselves, right? In our relationships, we can know what is major and what
What
is
is
minor. If we
right?
want to be open enough, right? So we can come up and say, yeah, someone gives me 200K, to me is minor. Whereas you know that in your heart of hearts, 200K is not minor
Not mind up.
to all
Right.
right. And then you want to like just because you don't want to be sincere, right? You now say it's just minor stuff. I'm not telling man no.
Mind
And
up.
you think that I know. So I would say that someone gives me 1K, 2K. I don't really think there's a need for me to tell my partner that someone gives me 1K, 2K, right? Because I mean I can't just start telling my partner everything and anything someone gives me, even if someone gives me maybe a cup of water. Maybe I went to visit someone and then the
And they
person
gave you rice.
a cup of water, a cup of water, right? And I have
Right.
to tell my partner, oh, someone gave me a cup of water. So how many things do I want to tell my partner that
Right.
someone gives me? But when we know that this thing is actually major, so I think still communication, right? You have to talk with your partner. What is major in the relationship and what is minor? Let's talk it out. If this thing is major, we know this amount of money is major to us. We have to
Right.
talk about it so that, I mean, Yoruba have an adage. They say ni Kenny me. It means if you praise someone that you praise will do more, right? Someone gives you 200k, 300k, 500k, 1 million, right? I would say to me now, to us, I would say, I mean, we're being real here, right? I would say
Yeah.
to us, still major, right? And then
Yeah.
you want to thank the person, right? Oh, you want your partner to thank the person too, because it's a major stuff. You understand? So I feel like when we know that, we know our range, we know our levels, we can be able to answer that question
Right.
appropriately, right? So 10 million, 5 million, still major, right? Right now, in the next 10 years, 1 million might not be major to us again, right?
No, might not, will not, baby.
You see, so when someone gives us 1 million, then it could be like, oh, just one of those things,
Oh
right?
yeah, like they give you 1 million. Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, so and then you want to like say, okay, so then you are able to like change the ranges of what you
Over
tell.
time.
You understand? So I just
Yeah.
think that partners just need to communicate these things and just talk about it.
Yeah. That's
It's nothing that can be
exactly.
talked about, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly my mindset. Of course, that's my mindset because we're married to each other, and that's how we do. So my husband and I, we have like a range of money, and it's not just receiving gifts; it also goes to giving gifts. So I'm not
yeah,
compelled.
yeah. I also forgot to
Yeah,
say that.
I'm
Yeah,
not
true.
compelled to tell him every giving I do, as long as it's within a range of money. But
Yeah,
right now, I'm going to give somebody or gift somebody as much as 200k for now. I have to tell him, like, babe, I want to give someone this amount of money. But if I'm gifting somebody 5k, 10k, like even 20k, like my husband's like, oh, nice, oh, like, right, do you get? So I think it's
After
also
my
like,
answer, not tell
what?
your
What did you say, babe?
make I say my husband now. Make you gives me 20k. May you know tell your husband.
I was thinking about it. I don't need to tell him anyways, but you're going to pay in kind, like, what we have done here.
Oh,
Nothing goes for free, bro. So there's a range we have in our marriage that I cannot now hear outside that somebody now tells me, your husband gifted me this, and I'll not be like, babe, you were supposed to tell me. Because if it falls within that range, like, oh, nice, oh, I would even act along, like, yeah, you deserve it. But if it's outside the range, now that's where accountability comes in. We already
yeah.
discussed this. Once you are gifting anybody anything over 50k, you should tell me. So if you don't tell me, I can call you to order, and you have to be accountable.
And,
Oh,
and that even goes to right. Say something popped up in my head now, but flew back again.
why?
Flew back. Maybe to come back again.
Fly away, fly away.
Can
Don't
go
worry.
ahead.
Don't worry, we'll come back. So I was saying that this is once there's accountability, once there's communication, there's accountability.
Again, yeah, I've remembered what I wanted to say.
I know
Yeah,
you
sorry.
will.
Yeah, so even if right, as a man in the house, you make most money, say you make 80% of the money, or you make 90% of the finance of the home. I believe that you coming together, right, already authenticates that this person you are with is not like the person is worthless. I mean,
Right.
in an ideal home, in an ideal relationship, I feel like you, even if you earn most money and you like you, I mean, you
You're
might
not
be feeling
married
like
to a
you might be
statue.
feeling like you might be feeling like, oh, because I earned the most money, then why should
I
I?
don't need
I'm
to be
earning 90%
accountable.
of the money in this home, so why should I be telling my wife she
Right.
won't gift out? She's not working for it, so she can't feel bad if I give some money because she didn't work for it. I feel like it's wrong. Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like it's wrong. But I'm not saying that
Right.
because you are here right now or because we're having a chat, right? I'm not saying that because you have decided to build a home together, right?
Mhm.
Accountability applies irrespective of your income. The same way that you would
Exactly.
expect that your wife,
Tells
uh,
you even if she earns the most money.
yeah, collaborates with you if she earns the
Yeah.
most money, right? I mean, it would be nice to hear that your wife is giving a guy, some 500K, and
Okay.
you don't know about it. I mean, as a guy, normal, what we start thinking, oh, how
Yeah.
far, what did they solve? Say,
And she won't
why,
give you
why
because
did
I'm
you just give
earning
this
more.
guy 500K like that?
Hmm.
There's something you're not telling me, you understand? So, you want
Yeah.
to be in that kind of position, yeah? So, like the common saying, you don't give out you don't try to give what you cannot take.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. You're
But
right,
yeah,
babe.
so
And I
that's
think, babe, yeah, I think there's a balance I also want to put to it. Talking about these ranges, I made a joke about something earlier, and it's not really a joke. It's a joke, but not a joke. Where I said, if that 2K is from somebody dicey, it should be said. And I think sometimes you can cover up flirting with certain legit excuses. For example, you want to gift, maybe as a man, maybe there's a lady that is getting unnecessarily close to you and she needs money, and you want to gift her money within that range that you don't have to tell your wife. But you know that this thing is not just a normal thing again. Like, this person is not just a normal person because maybe she has made advances to you or gives you like some eye, like, oh God, I like you, or that kind of thing. But you really need to give her the money or gift her the money. In such cases, even if it falls within the range, you still have to tell your partner about it. The same way a woman, if a man that has been making advances to you or asking you out or has been disturbing you, whatever, gives you money. Of course, it's not every gift you have to receive, and it's not everybody you have to give something to if there's some strings attached. But I'm saying in some cases where it's like you still have to collect the gift or you have to give the person something, but there's still more to it. Don't now hide under the cover of I still under the range. I don't need to tell my partner. Don't bite yourself at the back, at the whatever. You understand what I'm saying, babe? You know what I'm
I
saying?
just feel like this whole thing just comes to, I mean, it all comes down to like sincerity
Yes,
between
and
the
transparency.
partner. So I just feel like, like I said when I started, right, a lot of issues that we see today is their root problems. And root problems
Mhm.
are difficult to solve. Before you can see a root, you have to like pull the plant. And
Word.
you don't want your marriage or your family or your relationship to be pulled, right? You want
Yeah,
to amend. So when you are in problem, it's very difficult to really solve, right? You know
yeah,
that this person is not an open person
yeah.
totally, right? But you are still risking it. It
Mm.
is really risky.
Risky,
Why?
risky.
It's risky, because really, you start seeing stuff, right? So I feel like the only thing that can really make that kind of person to be open and say, bro, I had to give this person this amount of, or my wife, not bro, right? Or I had to
Mhm.
give this person this amount of money.
Mhm.
Um, not even just marriage, even in normal dating relationships, right?
Yeah,
Normal,
relationship.
I have
Yeah.
to give this amount of money. I know it's under the range we spoke about, but this lady, because you know that
Maybe
this lady
my
is,
ex or something.
you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just sincerity and honesty,
Yeah.
openness that can bring about that. If not, too low.
Good to know, no papa.
All
Now,
right. So
I also
that's
want
just
to say something. Yeah, right. About when somebody earns the most money. And I think you touched on it when you said even if the man earns the most money, he still has to be accountable to his wife. The same way, I want to talk about women who earn more than men. You might be
yeah.
like, oh, I've been earning more than my husband for the past 1 year and I'm footing most of the bills. So, in a sense, I've been supporting him and all. But, dear woman, if you have been supporting your husband, but at the slightest misunderstanding you have, you always refer back to, if not for me, if not for my money, where will we be? You have not been helping him. You have just been shattering him emotionally and mentally. What when Yoruba will say on sharegun, what's it in English language? Yeah, what's it, babe?
I don't remember right now.
You are pointing back to the good you have done, or you're counting the good you have done. Really, to me, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense that you're helping somebody with something, and you every slight thing that comes up, you have to say, "See, I'm helping you. If not for me in your life, yeah, like come on, come
Yeah.
on." And the same way. if he's a man too, and you are helping your wife, you are footing most of it. Maybe due to a situation, she's a full housewife, or maybe she's pregnant and she can't work or something, and maybe she needs something sincerely, and she's like, "Ah, babe, I'll need to get maybe a new phone or something." Don't now shout at her and say, "You can't buy phone, you can't buy phone, you can't buy phone." See, let me just tell you, if not that I'm working my ass off, and here you are. Like, come on. There are better ways to say things. Like, so I think
Yeah.
you want to say something about it, babe.
Yeah, something just popped in my mind right now because yeah, I understand the fact that that's wrong on both parties, but we should also like maybe I feel like we should also know where to draw the line between being so materialistic or you know, not knowing how to cut your clothes according to your this size now or
Oh
shoes. I don't
yeah,
really
for the woman part, right?
now you know that this is your family finance income, right? This is how much this guy earns, this is how much this man earns, or maybe the guy or the lady, whichever one, then is now trying to always make
Demand
demands or moves
that would
or
affect the
that would
family.
affect the financial, now. Why are you
Yeah.
like
And
why
you're
are
now
you
also using it as emotional blackmail, like
exactly right?
because
You
she's the
know
one
that I want to do this thing and all, and then it becomes an issue. So it's complex, right? But I mean, wisdom. That's why they say. I mean, marriage is for people that are mature, like they always say.
point
You
on
know,
on
you just have to use wisdom, maturity, handling stuff.
carries.
I
You have
won't
to
say. I won't say there are not people who have gotten married and cannot just see like you just this thing is not possible now. We can't do this thing now, but the partner is bent on no, we must do it now. If you don't do it now, then it means this one, then it means that one. Why? Like, you know,
yeah. I think
so
I just want to give an example to people watching. Like, so for example, my husband is saying, for example, let's say the husband is the one working the most, or maybe the wife, and the person is earning maybe 800,000 naira per month, and the family expenses is like 700K. So they have like 100K left as savings, right? And the wife comes the next day and says, "I want to buy iPhone 15 Pro Max." And the husband is like, "We can't afford iPhone 15 Pro Max." And the next thing, the wife pulls out emotional blackmail card, like, "So is it because I'm not working? Or is it because this? Have I asked for too much? Even my mates, the husband are buying them more than that."
yeah, that kind
Like,
of stuff.
like, and it can also be a man doing that to his wife, like, if I was working right now, I would do this. But you already
Yeah,
know how much she's earning or how much he's earning, right? So let's be mature and sensible with our request. And let's try not to like overweigh our burdens on our partners, right? Let's just be realistic. That's the word. So thank you,
yeah,
babe. Thank you for that balance. Are you enjoying it so far on my show?
yeah. I am.
Okay. When we're done, I'm going to give you some food or something to like calm your nerves. Thank you.
Food where
So
from where they play my fans.
so now I want to talk about something. Babe, I'm going to put you on the spot right here, but
Hmm.
I trust that you are wise to handle this. There are cases of people where
You
the wife,
finish.
maybe don't worry, where the wife is the one earning money. Maybe the husband is not working at the moment, or
Yeah.
the husband is has less income, and the wife collects a salary and hands everything over to her husband. Like, "Babe, this is how
Hmm.
much I do. I've made 300K this month. Take everything and now give me money back or distribute it." So what do you think
Okay.
about that? What's the balance and what do you think about it?
You see, I would say I'm in the position to decide for people's marriages or people's family or people how they want to run their relationship. I'm just
Right.
going to talk based on my own opinion. Yeah. I feel like if that happens, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it. If both parties have already agreed that this is how we want to be running our family. Do you
Right.
get
Right.
yeah, she might have friends that might say, "Oh, your husband is just using your head. It's just this one, it's that one." Well,
Now we're
that
all using our heads.
right? I mean, everybody is using
Our
everybody
heads. Really.
person said or the other.
Right.
You get
Right.
so what I'm saying is that if that's how they've decided to run their families or their homes, then good. And they're having peace, good, right? So, but if and like I said again, all these things are just communication issues, right? If you
Mm.
can sit down to talk about these things, okay, oh, in this family, oh, these are what you be doing, oh, you know,
Right.
if I, you know, these are things that should have been talked about even before marriage or before you get.
Exactly.
So not be say every time when you are dating, every time you say, what
Who's
have
that
you,
date?
where
Ice
are you
cream.
doing? What are you doing now? Are you eating rice today? Are you eating yam today?
Have you
You
poo?
cannot talk about real things, right? You understand? Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't ask, what are we, or don't I ask?
I mean, you try your
You know,
best.
don't I or didn't I, when we're still dating and stuff like that.
Of course, now you ask now.
So now, but you guys didn't talk about that, bro. So now you now want to like get into the marriage, and then the husband believes that this is how it should be. If you are any more than me, or if you are
You
earning
should
money,
give
if
me
you're
your
gonna work,
money.
give me the money.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, why would I do that? You see, so these are the issues, right? So I believe that these are things that are supposed to have been talked about in before getting married at all. So that's my take on that, really, because I'm
Yeah.
not in a position to say, okay, no, it is wrong, no, it is right. If it works for a family, then it is right. If it's
Yeah.
not working, then it is wrong.
Right.
So that's just it.
Wisdom, wisdom. And I love that. I love that you touched on communication in dating. I think I've realized, because I counsel people on marriage and relationships, like, very big. And I've realized that sometimes some of the issues that people have in marriage, almost like 80% of these issues are issues that could have been dealt with in dating stage, that they bring back to marriage, and it now lingers back and hurts the marriage itself. So really, whatever works for whatever is fine. But at the same time, I think there's also a balance from my end, which is what I said before about being secure. Now, for me, I personally believe that if you're with a man and maybe you guys are discussing in dating, and you already know that two balances, or two things I want to point out, you already know that maybe your husband is a spender and does not know how to spend money well. For example, in my marriage now, me, I'm the spender. Oh, Onyeji Kashi, I dey spend. My husband here studied economics.
How much
Economics.
is
And
money?
is a how much is money normal. So I've seen times that maybe you two of us get maybe like 500K gifts together or something. And me, my own 500K cooking within 2 days, 3 days. My husband is like, babe, wait, you should still have. I did not still have anything. Now, in that case, if you know that you're married to someone like that and you are still the better spender, you don't necessarily have, and that's where communication comes in. Tell him, babe, you know we cannot trust you with this money, because if we give you, you will invite all your friends over and throw party. So even though I'm earning more, let me still hold the money. Now, the problem now comes in when you are with a man that now mandates that you must give me your salary.
And it's
Like,
just what I said now. Like, if you saw it during your dating stage and you talked about it, okay, something came to my mind now that what about if the person changes, right? Maybe during your dating stage, the guy
was full and all.
was like,
Or maybe
oh,
he
it's
didn't have a
okay,
problem because he was even earning more. And then in
yeah,
marriage,
like you
he
want for the
followed him
money and
out.
stuff like that. Then you got
Mhm,
married, so you felt like it's just normal stuff, right? Like
mhm.
you didn't even talk about it at all because you felt like in fact, when you brought the matter up, you even said something that was
Now
cool. Now you
sensible
got
and
married now, you now say
mhm.
something else. How do you deal with that? It just came to my mind right now, and I feel like truly that's why I always advise people to get married to someone who has worked with God, right? If you get married to someone who has
Right,
worked with God, like, I'm a believer, right? I'm a believer in Christ, and I believe that if you're getting married, you should get married to someone who's also a believer in Christ. So
right.
if you marry someone who has worked with God, you can go to God and tell God that, like, God, please talk to your son, no,
Talk to
make
your son, no.
make something not go happen for this house.
Babe, do you know I've played that card on you like a number of times?
Well,
I was like, God, see, talk to your son because talk to him. Oh.
do
And it
you
works.
understand?
Really
But
well. It
and
works.
then you can also have someone who like has a figure that the person can listen to, yeah,
Authority,
an
yeah.
authority. So if you have someone who doesn't listen to anybody, it's also a problem because
Mm,
that
mm,
time, I mean, you cannot person cannot listen to anybody, even if you go
right.
report the person or you go tell them, please call my husband about this and this and this. You
And
understand?
your husband blasts
So
them with phone.
Yeah, so it's that's where it comes in. So that's why when you tell people we'll get in relation with people that are of like minds, spiritually and all, people feel like, oh, it's just being you're just
Right.
boxing, you're just boxing people that, oh, people that are in church gone, they don't they're
Yeah,
the
you
ones that
don't
don't
do
see
all those
people to
things.
marry and all those stuff. People have different ideologies, but I mean, you going to church does not mean that you have to work with God, right? You can be a church goer and you don't really have to work with God.
Yeah. True.
So
You
that's
just
just
laughed like
anyway.
Reverend.
What did you say?
You just laughed like Reverend now.
Okay, have we rounding off?
Yeah, we're rounding off. Last
Okay.
last thing I want to talk about or ask you about is joint accounts. What do you
Hmm.
think about joint accounts?
All
Because
right.
now I'm going to
Basically,
be very practical, babe. Sorry, I'm going to be practical. I know of a couple real time that was telling me that when they got married initially, they ran a joint account and the husband would take money from joint account. I said, she is our account and was a spender and go and spend it on other projects and be like, I'm doing a surprise for my wife. And the wife is like, maybe even in the money, the wife's money is like 60% of the money. And yet, because the word joint is there, the husband believes that it's our money. So
yeah.
I spend all the money. Now, and yet we have also talked about pulling resources together. So what do you think about joint account really?
Well, I feel like it's simple, right? From the name itself, joint account is joint decision,
Mm,
right? So if you're going to have a joint account, right, with someone, I mean, with your partner, it means that you have to have a joint decision to take money from that account,
right.
right? Someone might ask, oh, do we have a joint decision to put money in that account? In my opinion, no. Right? You can put money in the joint account
Mhm.
without the person's decision. I mean, without the person's decision.
Approval.
Like you can have some money and then you want to put it into the joint account, right? You
Yes.
can do it on your own account. But if you don't take money from them, because putting money to the account is not the problem. It cannot cause problem. I
Yes.
mean, it is the
Taking the
taking of the
money.
money. So you know that's one that can cause problem. Then that's one you have to make joint decision over, right? So
Yeah.
bank account is good, right? But you cannot just have. I believe strongly that you can't just have a relationship, whether married or still dating, and then just be having joint account alone. You don't have any personal account. It's not possible.
Yeah.
You want to make decisions spontaneously, and then you just want to take the money from your account, maybe some 20K, maybe some 10K, and then you don't have to be informing your partner first,
That's
right? So we know that any money that is going out of the joint account is money that is of great substance. You
right.
understand? So you have to like say, okay, oh, joint account, we have to inform each other about the joint account, and we also have our personal account we can use, right? When we want to make some, little expenses here and there that you don't have to start disturbing your partner about. So
Right.
I'm up for joint account, I'm up for personal account. Yeah, together. Yeah.
Yes. So
And again,
okay.
like if you have a joint account, one way again to put accountability there is that okay, someone might have access to the account while the other, I mean, two of you can have access to the account. Or okay, in a case where just one person has access to the say mobile app or something, the other person might have access to the alerts. So that's when money is coming out. The other person is getting alerted. That money is not that you are the one that has access to the account. You are the one
Yeah,
that
no,
is
that is just the alert.
receiving the alerts. So that when you go and remove money, you now delete the alerts.
Babe, there are things happening. There are really people that take money out of their husband's
Yes.
phone. Things they happen.
So yeah, that's just my take anyway, Sha.
Yeah, I like your take. I like your take. And I'm going to say
Of
this
course, of
too.
course, of course.
Uh, uh, I'm going to say this too, which is number one, you could have joint accounts where you guys decide that this account will be for so and so thing. So maybe our account is for our groceries and giving and maybe whatever, maybe church needs. So if I take money out of it to go to the spa, you can hold me accountable. Like, what did you use the money for? And I just went to the beach to have fun, right? So, like my husband said, joint decision. So that means we are deciding together to like do something
Yeah.
together, right? Yeah. And at the same time, I also want to talk about this part of, yeah, we are putting money together and all of that. You said something about you should have personal accounts. I know of a couple that they don't have personal accounts. Like all they do is their joint account, and it's really working well for them. So they tell each other about every single penny they're spending, and it's working with them. It's working for them. Some of them have access to the accounts individually. So the account is running both as personal and joint, but two of them are working together, doing everything together. In fact, they work together because they're content creators. So all the money come into the same account and everything. So there's nothing like, oh, I have my own account, you have an account.
Good for them. It works for them, right? So
Yeah, so that's what I say. At that point, whatever works for you. But for me and my husband, we have our personal accounts and we have our joint accounts. So he knows my earnings, I know his earnings. Every month, I know how much I need to put in there, and I tell him, I babe, I'm going to put this amount in our joint account. He tells me he's going to put this amount in our joint account. When we have stuff that has to do with the family, we can say, oh, I'm taking this money out, he's taking this money out. But at the same time, personal account, I still have my personal account. He says personal account. He knows that, oh, I have money, I know he has money. And then I can still buy stuff for the family, even in my personal account. He can still buy stuff for the family, even from his personal account. I remember sometimes when I'm trying to be like, babe, my money has finished. I bought so and so. I say, you want me to say my own? I also bought so and so. And I'm like, don't worry, don't say it again, right? So there's that part. And lastly, one thing I want to talk about is, this one is a bit dicey, but for me, this is it. When one partner is earning over the other partner or is earning more than the other partner, you that is earning less, don't use that as a lackadaisical attitude, never to buy gifts for the other partner. Babe, what do you think? Like, now always hide under the cover of, you're earning more now. You don't know, what do you expect? You're earning more. What do you expect?
The thing is, right? Gifts are just how would I say it? One thing about gifts is that it shows the position of your heart towards something or
Right.
towards whatever gifting to, right? So it's still about giving and all.
Right.
Like I said, this whole thing is still a root issue. Okay, for example, this thing you just said is going to be difficult for someone who is naturally stingy.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
difficult.
yes.
But it's going to be easier for someone who is naturally a giver, right? So if you are stingy, no matter how much you earn, you will always see reasons why you have more bills to pay and not more things to give. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
If you are a giver, you would always want to give, no matter how small it is, right? So one thing about giving is that it is the art that matters. It is the thoughtfulness that matter. You get not. That's why you can even give gifts to people that are way richer than you, right? Way richer than you. Not like they can't buy what you want to give them in, and they won't feel it. But seeing that, oh, this person thought it worthy to like just give towards me, it sends a message. So giving is a message. You get giving or gifts is a message as far as I'm concerned.
All right, thank you so much for watching this episode. I had fun and sweet time and conversation with my husband and with you all. So, this channel is actually dedicated to wholesomeness, wholesome living, purpose. I mean, every aspect of your life. I personally believe that you can thrive in every area and aspect of your life without one of them suffering. And that's the sole aim and purpose of this channel. So, you can feel free to binge watch all of my videos on my channel. I've talked about a lot of stuff that you'd like to learn about. I've talked about how to find a good life partner. I've talked about self-esteem as a woman. I've talked about friendship, toxic friendship. I've talked about a lot of stuff. Feel free to binge watch all of them episode by episode. And then if you have not subscribed, what do you want me to do to you? Hit the subscribe button right away, and please hit the notification bell. It looks like a bell beside the subscribe button. It's going to let you know when I post new videos and whenever I post new stuff on YouTube. So please subscribe, follow this channel for more exciting, inspiring, and educative videos. Thank you so much for watching this video and episode once again. If you'd like me to have my husband on this channel once more or many more times. If you'd like to see more of my husband on this channel, I'll say tell me in the comments below, and I'll read all of your comments and reply all of your comments. Do have a great time. See you in the next video. Bye.